Moving ahead, we will now have basically, you know that R is a part of FOSSI project. So, and FOSSI project promotes open source software. So, I'm going to show you what all we have in R. How do we basically encourage students, faculty members to learn R? Okay. So, what all activities we have created for students and faculty members and anybody who wants to learn R. So I will show you what all we have with us. Okay. So just let me share my screen. So basically, FOSSI stands for Free Open Source Software. Uh, it was for engineering education. Okay. But now we started with engineering education, but now when we see that it is applicable to not only engineering students, it is applicable to everybody. So now we are having only education here. Okay, free liber open source software for education. Yeah, so FOSSI stand for free liber and open source software for education. And this project is funded. Hmm? This project is funded by National Mission on Education through ICT, Ministry of Education. Earlier, it was known by the Ministry of Human Resource (MHRD). Okay? And Professor Kannan, who spoke to you in the morning, he is a PI for this project, a principal investigator for this project. Okay. So in my this talk, I will actually talk about FOSSI goals. What are the FOSSI goals? Means what do we do? How do we do? And what these are the activities which we have created for students to contribute, faculty members to contribute. Here are textbook companion, lab migration, case study, and in fact, we have R on Garuda Cloud. So you don't have to download R. You can use our cloud version. Okay, I'll show you one by one each activity. So as you know, we promote free open source software. Why do we promote free open source software? Because it actually reduces dependency on proprietary software. Proprietary software, you have to buy a license, and sometimes the actually license fee is really high. So sometimes it is in lakhs and crores actually. If you want to buy it for many users, then it may go up to in crores. So you can actually find some alternative for those softwares which are open source. Like I will name it here, like MATLAB is a proprietary software. Alternative software is Scilab. Then DWSIM is also open source software for chemical engineering process simulation. Likewise, there are many other softwares. Similarly, R is actually open source software alternative to SPSS as well as SAS, Stata, all these things. And basically, it is available freely. Then students can use it on campus, off campus. Like sometimes what happens is this proprietary software is purchased by colleges. They have it only in their lab. So if student want to actually do the practice, they will have to just sit in the lab, and then only that proprietary software is available to them. They can't buy it because it is the cost is very high, and if they want to practice, it is not accessible to them anytime, anywhere. So if you have R, suppose, so I am referring R every time because I'm going to talk about R. So the thing is, if you see R is available everywhere. If you want to use SPSS or SAS, you have to buy a license. Okay. So and that way, your programming skills will improve if it is available anytime, anywhere. So this will improve quality of education for ICT. So it is available everywhere. Everybody can use it. Even they can use it in their job prospect also. So it is not like some software they use for education and later they never use it. But whereas if it is open source, you can insist that I know this software, it is open. I would like to use the same thing. So one of the activity I will talk about is we have our textbook companion. What is textbook companion? Basically, you choose one standard textbook or a reference book from your syllabus. What you do is you have solved examples in that textbook. So we want you to write a code in R to get the same answer whatever is given in the solved example. Okay, so in the solved example, you will do it with the manual method, right? So instead of that, using similar method, you can write a code in R and get the same answer. So this way you will learn programming. So choose a book which has more than 80 examples in that book, solved examples in that book, and then you can actually submit a project a proposal on our website. I'll show you everything how you can do that. So you will have to submit a project proposal. You can mention your book name, and once we get the proposal, we'll check it, and then we will see whether the actually that book can be converted. You write a code in R. So we will evaluate that, and what we will do, we will approve or disapprove depending on the type of the book you have chosen. It should not be very easy, and it should not be very hard, or it should not be having codes on other software, or it should not have any code written in R. So we don't accept anything if it is already written in R. Okay. So yeah. So what basically how it will help students or anybody who wants to learn R? These are the very small examples. If you choose first to begin with, if you choose any simple book, so you can actually start writing code. You can learn programming using that examples. Okay, and that way you will know programming. You will basically learn programming. And another thing is this will improve the documentation available for the free open source software. Suppose for one particular function you are using to get some answer. Okay. So suppose if you want to calculate mean of the observation. So if you are using mean as a function, and what happens is when you write these codes from the textbook, so what happens is if somebody wants to see examples related to mean, how to calculate mean using R, then they will have all these examples available. Okay. Then actually, if you see, if I tell you to create this documentation, if I tell students that, okay, you write a documentation related to R, they will not like it because you guys are good in coding. You don't want to basically write anything paragraph by paragraph. So it is good idea to tell you to write a code. That way we are creating a documentation. Okay. So here we say that one book, once you complete one book, we will evaluate it and actually we will publish it on our website. So this is equal to 1 TBC, textbook companion project. We give certificate internship because we expect you to complete one book in 3 months of time. Sometimes the books may have more examples like 200, 300. So we give you time to complete one book, and whenever you complete, actually, whenever you write a code, you can upload it on our portal. We will evaluate it time on whenever you actually upload it. And then once you complete writing code for all the solved examples from that book, it will get published on our website. And once it is published, we issue certificate. We issue certificate of internship as it is equivalent to working for 3 months on any project. Okay. And this is also useful for actually teachers. I will show you how it is. Basically, you can, if you want to teach any concept, you can use these examples. You can use these examples in your lab. So I'll show you textbook companion. So this is our website. If you see, this is r.fossee.in. Okay. And these are the projects we have actually offered it to our students and faculty members. So this is textbook companion project. Here, if you want to actually submit a book proposal, you can click on book proposal. But before that, you will have to actually create a login here. So if you log in, it is very just one step procedure. You just actually create your login, and then if you want to submit a project proposal, you can submit a project proposal here, book proposal. If you go to book proposal, you fill up all these details, okay, and submit it. And along with the proposal, you need to upload sample examples, 5 sample examples from that book. Any 5 solved examples, you can write a code and upload it here in the folder. Okay. Then we will receive your proposal. We'll check your sample code. Okay. And then if everything is fine, we'll approve that book. But make sure that your book is not listed in the completed books. Okay. So here are the books available. There are 37 books already coded in R. So you have to make sure that whatever the book you are choosing is not listed here. As well as it should not be listed in books in progress, because books in progress is where students are already working on that books. So there are actually 55 books which are in progress. So you'll have to make sure that you are choosing books apart from these 55 and that 37 books. Right? Then once we do that, then you can start uploading, writing codes, everything. So if you see here, we have created different categories of books. Okay. If you want to see, suppose anybody from economics, if they are interested that whether there are any books related to economics. So here you can see that there are 3 books which are in the category of economics. Similarly, we have, if there are many books, here only 3 you can actually choose and check the code, all that. But if there are suppose more than 100 books available for particular category, that's why we have created this subcategory. Suppose if I choose statistics, right? There are 15 examples. Then if I choose basic statistics or probability theory, you will see there are again, so all of them are having something the other related to probability theory. So if I choose data mining, suppose, I think there is some problem. So if I choose applied statistics, okay, let me check some other category. Okay, there is some problem. I'm sorry. I'll have to check with our actually system administrator. Okay, but don't worry. So this is how basically you can search any book. That's what I wanted to show you. Right. So we'll go back to my next topic. So yeah. So again, here actually lab migration project. So what is lab migration? You might have seen that you have some labs related to software, and maybe you have something, your college has created some syllabus which is based on some software. So some colleges use proprietary softwares for their lab. So we actually encourage them to migrate their lab that use proprietary software to FOSS only lab. What is FOSS? Free libre open source software only lab. That is like R, Python, Scilab. So we encourage them to submit a proposal, and using that they can actually submit the experiments what they have planned, and they can actually we can help them in writing R code for this same lab. So if they have it in some other proprietary software, we help them in writing code. In fact, even if they know R programming, they can also write. But we encourage them, we give them certificate for doing this, and their work will be available on our website. Sometimes even they can encourage their student to write a solution for the lab problem. Okay, so just a minute. Yeah, second project is lab migration project. Same way you can log in here and submit a project submission. Here we have given all the procedure, submission guidelines, how you can submit. Okay. So similar way we have a form for submission of lab migration proposal. And you can list out your actually experiments here. And then, so, second, huh? Okay. So if you see, we have 7 labs migrated. Okay. And if you see, VIT Chennai is actively participating in this. And IIT Bombay FOSSEE team, our FOSSEE team, has created sample lab migration to sample lab migration, so that you can get some idea how you can do it. I'll just open this. This is submitted by Dr. Shwetlin. And if you click here, you will see all they have submitted 15 experiments. So here you can see all 15 experiments title is given here. Okay. So if you, and here you can actually download all the solutions. Even without login, if you just want to check and download lab solutions or textbook companion, I forgot to show you that. I will show you again. This is like you can download lab migration solution, right? See, the file gets downloaded, zip file gets downloaded on my laptop. Similar way, I forgot to tell you this, that if you go to completed textbook companion, suppose if I choose book, this book, here you can see contributor's name. He is a student from, he is a Anuj Singh, BTech computer science student from IIT Bhilai. And here are the details. So you see, you can download PDF. So if you say download PDF, all the solutions for these books will get downloaded in the PDF format. That will be just one file will get downloaded. If you want just one chapter to download, you can choose and just download one chapter by chapter. Okay, that I forgot to show you. Similarly, in lab migration, you can actually download lab solutions. So these are the lab migrations available here on our website, already coded. They have written a code for all the examples here. Okay, you can check it later. Moving on. So there are total 7 labs completed, and there are 4 labs in progress. Next project is recently we have launched this project, which is a case study project. Why we have started this? Because what was happening is application of R for statistical analysis was not getting reflected anywhere. So we thought, let's have something even we would wanted to have actually something for not only faculty members or students, but research scholar. So this actually a project we have started keeping research scholars in mind, because if they can actually learn R for their research purpose, they can use R for their analysis, their data analysis, and their PhD work. So here, actually, uh, in this project, what you have to do is you can actually submit a project proposal, and let me show you. So currently we have two completed case studies and two case studies in progress. So I will show you the same way. So, and if you read all these things, then we have given in detail how to go about it, how to submit a proposal, who can submit a proposal, everything is given here. So I'll show you one case study. See here, these are our actually last year's summer fellowship students who actually have completed these two case studies. So one topic was analysis of difference between predicted GDP and actual GDP. So there are agencies who predict GDPs every year. You know that. So they predict, and what happens is there will be some difference between actual GDPs of countries and predicted GDPs. So they did the analysis of the difference. Okay. Similarly, one student, he has worked on effect of COVID on Indian stock market. So that was the time when this pandemic has started. So we wanted to see that what was the effect on Indian stock market. So if you refer this, you will understand what kind of actually functions you can use for data analysis. How you can there are so many features available in R, by using which you can do all kinds of analysis. There are almost more than 18,000 packages available in R for different functionalities. Okay, so moving on. So you can actually you can encourage your student. It is like a small project, instead of giving some project to student to work on, they can in fact submit a case study, work on that data, whatever. If that data can be open source data, that data can be available online, and that data can be generated by survey or anything, by their own data. In fact, they can use their own data for this purpose. So this way, they will work on a complete aspect of the data, starting from generating data and how conclude till conclusion. Okay, so this is one more actually really interesting feature we have. I'll just take you back here. Okay, so I will show you. Uh, second. Okay, wait. Sorry. So I will just open the cloud. The website is rcloud.fossee.in. Okay. Here, if you select main category, suppose if I select statistics, all that textbook companion books are available on our cloud. If we say basic statistics, and if I select first course in probability by Sheldon Ross, and what I can do is I can select a chapter. So I'm selecting example 2B from that book. So here what we expect you to do is you can actually open that book, open that chapter, and have that example available with you, because if you just check this code, you will not understand anything, right? So what you have to do is you can open that book, read that question, and then check the code. What is the, so if I want to execute this command, see, I get the answer here, right? And if I want to change some parameters here, if you suppose if you want to uh, change these parameters and see what happens. If I change from 3 to 4, 5, suppose. So let's see what happens. my answer had changed. So it is very easy to see if your code, if you make some change in your code, what happens. This is very helpful for any faculty member who are setting exam, right? So if you are setting exam using some book which is available here, okay, so what you can do is you can choose that book, open few examples, see if you want to change the parameters, whatever given in the book. If you don't want to use that, you can change it here and you can set your exam paper, in fact. So, and in this is not only for the textbook companion, but you can use this as a cloud. So, if you want to delete all the examples and I just want to write my own code and execute, it will work. Okay, so you don't have to just use textbook companion book code. You can write your own code here and execute it. Right? So till now, anybody has any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope you have seen how we encourage student and faculty members to use R. So anybody has submitted, has done a textbook companion book on any topic here? Anybody has completed? Did you know this facility available at R Fossey?
No, ma'am. We are saying I am saying it for the first time only.
Okay, okay, good. So the thing is, see, this is the way one can learn programming. Sometimes it happens that some student complain that I want to learn R or any programming language, but what I nobody is giving me any project. Nobody is actually no project is available to me where I can work on, where I can show that I have worked on that project. So here is the thing. You what you can do is you can actually submit these proposals. After successfully completing these projects, you will get certificates. So that will help you in employment, even for looking for a job, or even faculty members also can use these things for their own research purpose. Okay. And one more thing, actually, I forgot to show you. Is it okay? Can I show you now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to show you one really good feature. So here, if you go to search, if you go to TBC code search, and if you want to basically see any function which is used in R, are there any examples available so that I can refer it, I can understand it? So I can understand it that way. So if you want to suppose refer this, so this here is a search engine which will give you all the examples available in textbook companion. So for that particular function. Okay, so suppose pnorm is the function which we use for finding probability of normal distribution. Okay, if I search, yeah, so here are the see so many examples. 334 results have found for pnorm. This function using this function which are used in the code of these books. So if you want to see, if you want to download those codes, you can do it. If you want to view that example, suppose, see, here they have given that it is in the book, and this is the actual example where they use pnorm. Pnorm. Can you see? See, it identifies the function which is used in the code and show you all the results. So is this good? If you want to use any particular thing which is basically you want to use it in your programming, you can actually type in here, search, and if there are any examples available for that particular function will be displayed here. You can check that or download it, use it, modify it for your own purpose. Okay, that is what I wanted to show you. So if you have any question, please let me know.
Ma'am, regarding the projects they're available, like how to apply, to work on them?
Yeah, say it again.
Yes, ma'am. Like the project that were available there, like the case study projects and the other ones. So you know how to apply for them, or like how to search for new data sets to work on.
Yeah. So the thing is, see, if you want to propose a book in textbook companion, you choose one book which you are studying, or if you like a very popular book in the one particular area, suppose chemical engineering or any other thing. So you can choose that book. See that if you can code, write a code you in R for that solved examples. And then what you have to do is you have to check whether it is listed in the completed book or books in progress. If not, then you submit a book proposal, right? Once
Okay,
you
ma'am.
submit a book proposal, along with that, you will submit 5 sample codes. Okay. And we will evaluate those codes and see that at least you know basic programming, and even the book which is actually you have chosen is a correct book or not. And then we approve that, and then you can start working on that.
Ma'am, could it be submitted in parts, or like like completing the
It
whole
can be
book?
submitted in parts, but first you have to submit a proposal. Once we approve the proposal, then you can actually submit it all the codes in parts. So you can complete whole book in 3 months. That's the thing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And in case study project, you will have to look for open data, open source data, or like World Bank, World data, or there are data available online openly. So those data you can choose. You can decide your topic, and you will have to submit a abstract, and along with that you will have to submit a data. So we will see whether whatever problem statement you have chosen is appropriate, and the data is also appropriate for that problem statement. If it is that, then we actually approve that case study, and you complete your case study and prepare a report and submit all the documents on our website. We will evaluate your submission, and you will get a certificate. But for case study project, we have given 1 month time. Okay.
And for case
Any other
study
question?
project, like will any mentorship will be provided? Like suppose if any help
We
is
can
needed.
give you, or in fact, if you are a student, you can actually request your faculty member to mentor you. That will be really good,
Okay, ma'am.
because sometimes we may not be subject expert, no?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm a beginner in statistical methods and analytics course.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the current book I'm reading is Sheldon Rose only. But there are
Okay.
many other references book that I was thinking like I will search first in the database. If not there, then I will like to work on them. And
Yeah,
then
you
there are
can
many
do
other
that.
like database of NASA. Like for example, I was looking at and I found it interesting. So yeah, I might like try to submit
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. Please submit the case, actually, textbook companion project.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Any other question? Do you have any questions for Professor Radhe or anybody from our team? So, how was your day? It was productive. Did you felt like it was productive?
Yes, ma'am, it was a lot productive. Like I was so far afraid of R, but now that fear has gone, and now I'm actually interested in like working on so many things, and just because of R actually. So yeah,
Great. Yeah.
it was really
So,
productive.
yeah, yeah. So, we have got uh, work for you. Okay. So, you now what you have to do is, after the workshop, you will go back, open the general instruction sheet. Okay. In that, we have given a mention of one folder, study material folder, which open it, and in that we have given practice problem. PDF file is there for all the spoken tutorial whatever you have done today. Along with that, you will have to create a R Markdown file for solving all these practice problems. So first thing you will do is create a R Markdown file, and then start solving all the practice problems. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anybody wants to say anything?
Smita, hello.
Sorry, Usha, you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Mr.
Did you
Radhe.
remind them about the tomorrow's earlier that 9:30 wala?
Yes.
That because if it is not mandatory, that's why.
Yes. Yeah. So we instead of we have started at 10 o'clock today, no? So instead of that, we'll start at 9:30 tomorrow. For those who have any questions, any problem, any queries related to practice problem, for those we will start at 9:30. And those who don't have any questions, they can join at 10 o'clock. Curious to know what are the questions, they are free to join at 9:30.
Ma'am, will the recordings be shared like for the specific parts, like for the R Markdown part? I think like it would be better if I get the recordings.
Yeah, we will do that. We'll do that. Right, Usha? Maybe we can create one common platform.
Yeah, I think we can share some of the specific recordings if they want. Yeah, we can.
Usha is a senior manager at FOSSI project.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Smita. So I think tomorrow 9:30, I think we can start
Yes.
the session. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to repeat the question, but the practice problems are already there in Google Drive, which was mailed to us, right?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And one more thing, actually, one more homework you have, in fact. In the guideline email, there is just general instruction. In that, I have listed out topics which you have to read before coming for this tomorrow's workshop. Because we are going to start with basics of statistics in R, I want you to read those theory part so that you will understand it better. Able to relate it, you will be able to ask questions during the live session.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So if nobody has any questions, we can say call off today's workshop. We will meet at 9:30 tomorrow. Is that okay? Digvijay, you have anything to say?
No, ma'am.
So anybody
Thank
has
you
any
all.
questions?
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so see you then. Everybody must be tired, I think. So we'll meet at 9:30 for those who have questions. Otherwise, others can join at 10 o'clock.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so you have to do homework. Okay, we are going to check it tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.